So long story short, there have been briefings that we've received as Congress that leads us to believe that, yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind.
Close to a decade ago, I exclusively revealed on Joe Rogan's popular podcast that from all of my research and the global sun missions, aliens don't come from distant star systems. They don't fly here in like tin can flying saucers. They come interdimensionally, and we have limited spectrum, even sight of what's in our normal light spectrum, not to mention the other dimensions, not to mention all the different fields that come into our dimension. And I've talked to high-level Pentagon people, CIA, you name it, scientists, physicists. They've said absolutely it's an interdimensional invasion. That's what the Bible talks about in every other ancient religion, that there's this unseen, but it's coming into our universe. It's coming into our domain. It's coming into our dimension. So here's a clip of her on Fox News Friday night talking about, yeah, it's interdimensional, but it's classified. I can't tell you yet. I'm going to tell you soon. But what they know from people in the Air Force I've talked to and what's already been declassified is a craft will show up, and then it's 100 miles away instantly. Pew, pew. Or it'll be flying Mach 20 and make a perfect turn. Nothing can do that. Because in gravity, that would crush anything. You could have a solid block of stainless steel doing Mach 15, and if it made a perfect turn, it would flatten it out. So we know they're interdimensionally jumping from point to point. And so now Trump's talking about a big reveal here. Obama's saying aliens are real. I don't just believe Obama. I do believe there are obviously things that aren't human, but why are they announcing it now? Is it a distraction from Epstein? Sure, but Trump said when he first got reelected a year ago, I'm going to do disclosure, ordered Hexas to prepare the report in the next year that's about to be released. So regardless, this is really, really important. And being focused on UFOs or extraterrestrials doesn't take away from exposing Epstein. We're focused on that. But there's a lot of disclosure happening right now, a lot of really, really crazy stuff happening on every front because this is part of the Great Awakening. So I'm going to go to her clip on Fox, and I want you to give me your take below.
Non-human visitors to Earth.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So that got a lot of attention. Hours later, the president posting on Truth Social that he's directing the release of government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life and UFOs. He wants everything to come out that the government has on this. So with that, we bring in Republican Congresswoman from Florida, Anna Paulina Luna. She is chair of the Oversight Committee Task Force on the Declassification of Federal Secrets. She has said that there is evidence of interdimensional beings that can operate through the time spaces that we currently have, which is obviously going to catch a lot of people's attention. Anna Paulina Luna, thank you very much, Congresswoman. It's good to have you with us today. So I want to go back to that. You told Joe Rogan in a podcast in August when you were discussing all of this that you have viewed evidence of interdimensional beings here on Earth and that they operate through the time spaces that we currently have. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, I think that a good example would be some of the photo visual evidence that we've seen directly in some of these classified briefings that will now be made public. One of the famously now, I guess, infamous videos that we showed in one of our hearings was actually a video that was dead dropped to Eric Burleson, who's a member of Congress, from within the Department of War, and it shows a UAP, an unidentified aerial phenomena, deflecting a Hellfire missile. This was taken off of ISR footage off the coast of, I believe it was Yemen. So long story short, there have been briefings that we've received as Congress that leads us to believe that, yes, there is definitely an advanced technology out there that's not created by mankind. And yes, of course, we've seen other evidence where it could potentially be UAPs, and then we later find out that there's drones. But there is a certain amount of evidence that we simply can't explain. Some of the physics that are defied in how these vehicles operate are very interesting to note. And we are not the only government that's, looked into this extensively. But I really do look at this from a lens of national security. And as you know, as we continue to evolve specifically on the front of AI and drone technology, we have to ensure that are these things, whatever they may be. Are they potential adversarial weapons, advanced weapons, or not? And I think the whole aspect that the federal government can deny access to members of Congress, of which has happened not just to myself, but to other members of Congress as well, is not just alarming, but it's also something that cannot truly exist in a free and fair society. Government should not operate in secrecy. And so I look forward to the American people being able to determine their own conclusion after they've seen some of the evidence that we have seen. But most recently, Representative Gates actually came forward. He was on that initial CODAL with me and Representative Tim Burchett, where we were denied access. And he will tell you that if you've seen some of the stuff that we've seen, you will too become a believer.
So, I mean, it's fascinating. And, you know, so you're saying that the Air Force has covered up UAP sightings. So, you know, if there is potentially, is it because it's technology that we have that they don't want anyone to know that we have militarily? Or is it that it's a foreign actor who has some abilities in technology and things that spin in ways that we can't understand?
Based on our interviews that we've conducted, not just in person, but also to given some of the testimony that we've received, we do have reason to believe that this tech is not created by mankind. However, it is also possible that there are certain advanced weapons that the U.S. government may have that they're denying us access to. But here's the problem. When you have unelected bureaucrats denying access to members of government that are supposed to oversee and write the checks for that federal spending, and then we're also getting reports that there are people being threatened, whether it be physically, whether there have been, you know, interesting deaths associated with people that have been coming forward as whistleblowers, which has been brought up in some of the testimony that we've received, not just myself, but you saw recently there was a movie that came out, The Age of Disclosure, where this is also referenced now by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. This is one of the most bipartisan and bicameral things in Washington, D.C. And so we definitely are looking forward to sharing this and exploring this further with the American people.
Anna Paulina Luna, Congresswoman, thank you. It's fascinating. And I think we all want to know more about this. I think it's sort of tripped back into the universe, so to speak, with sort of an offhanded comment by President Obama that turned into something deeper. And now we may get some more disclosures.
The elite are all about transcendence and living forever and the secrets of the universe, and they want to know all this. Some are good, some are bad, some are a mix. But the good ones don't ever want to organize. The bad ones tend to want to organize because they lust after power. Powerful consciousnesses don't want to dominate other people. They want to empower them, so they don't tend to get together until things are really late in the game. Then they come together. Evil's always defeated because good is so much stronger. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it, there's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is artificial. The computers are scanning it and finding tension points where it's artificially projected and gravity's bleeding in to this universe. That's what they call dark matter. So we're like a thought or a dream that's a wisp in some computer program, some God's mind, whatever. They're proving it all. It's all coming out. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things, is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the third dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels. And our species is already way up at the fifth, sixth dimension, consciously our best people. But there's this big war trying to like basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good. And the elites themselves believe they're racing using human technology to try to take our best minds and build some type of breakaway civilization where they're going to merge with machines, transcend, and break away from the failed species that is man, which is kind of like a false transmission because they're thinking what they are is ugly and bad, projecting it onto themselves instead of believing, no, it's a human test about building us up. And so Google was set up 18, 19 years ago. I knew about this before it was declassified. I'm just saying I have good sources. That they wanted to build a giant artificial system. And Google believes that the first artificial intelligence will be a supercomputer based on the neuron activities of the hive mind of humanity with billions of people wired into it with the Internet of Things. And so all of our thoughts go into it, and we're actually building a computer that has real neurons in real time that's also psychically connected to us, that are organic creatures, so that they will have current prediction powers, future prediction powers, a true crystal ball, But the big secret is, once you have a crystal ball and know the future, you can add stimuli beforehand and make decisions that control the future. And so then it's the end of consciousness and free will for individuals, as we know, and a true 2.0 in a very bad way, hive mind consciousness with an AI jacked into everyone, knowing our hopes and dreams, delivering it to us, not in some PKD wirehead system where we plug in and give up on consciousness because of unlimited pleasure, but because we were already wired in and absorbed before we knew it by giving over our consciousness to this system by our daily decisions that it was able to manipulate and control into a larger system. There's now a human counterstrike taking place to shut this off before it gets fully into place and to block these systems and to try to have an actual debate about where humanity goes and cut off the pedophiles and psychic vampires that are in control of this AI system before humanity's destroyed.
Wait a minute,
humanity
the pedophiles
is only
are controlled of AI? How'd the pedophiles get in control of AI?
The pedophiles at a whatever level, the devil, whatever you want to call it, this interdimensional thing that gives them advanced off-world technology, the fallen one that's not of this world, is giving them advanced knowledge
What
on
are
how
you
to
talking
construct these systems
what is
that have already been used before on other populations.
What?
Is that Satan?
What are you
That's
talking
Satan.
about?
Let's say,
But explain that. You're
well,
saying
Satan
something
becomes
insane.
something that the stupid preacher tells you about who's totally controlled, or something you read about on in the news or TV.
Right.
But this is an interdimensional force that wants to influence us to build something that absorbs us and kills us, rather than the divine free will we're given to build something much better that empowers the species.
Where are you getting this from?
That's what it is. So again, everything isn't available to the eye. You can't see 5G. You can't see wireless. You can't see, galactic space waves and solar storms, but it's all there. And the good news is this is coming out. And I do talk to Congresswoman Anna Luna. She's a great lady. She's ready to some of the classified stuff. She's got to wait till that all comes out. But I would expect this to be a big deal. Sure, the deep state's going to plant some fake information in there, but regardless, the good news is there is a great awakening to all of this, and we'll be watching and covering it next week when Trump reportedly declassifies the UFO file. But he's got to get trust in his own people to actually declassify it. So that's coming up next week. Separately, the deep state wants me off the air because I've been calling it like it is. They know I've got their number. That's why you have to understand, I'm supported by you, not by Qatar, not by Israel, not by the U.S. government, by viewers and listeners like you. And when you go to realalexjones.com, you get discounts even bigger than our main shopping cart, thealexjonestore.com. When you go there, you can get our new pure atomic iodine, the very best. What a game changer. Iodine deficiency is one of the main causes of mental illness, low IQ, you name it. We have the best. Nobody has this pure. T3 just came out. It was stronger than our last formula. It was so popular at realalexjones.com. And a wide selection of Patriot apparel, the best methylene blue, you name it, at realalexjones.com. And that's what keeps us on the air. This first round is selling out quick. So secure your T3, the ultimate, strongest, cleanest, atomic, doesn't mean radioactive, but on the atomic table, pure iodine at realalexjones.com. But regardless, we all got front row seats, ladies and gentlemen, to Disclosure, and I'll be there with you covering it. God bless you all. 9 years ago, we were the first and still the only supplement company to bring you atomic iodine. That doesn't mean it's radioactive. It means it's on the atomic chart. Pure iodine. You have to have a DEA license to have it because if you watch Breaking Bad, you know what you can do with the raw stuff. But by the time we sell it to you, it's been put into an organic glycerin, it's legal and lawful. Now, there's a lot of great iodines out there, but they're all bound to other elements. This is pure iodine. It takes at least 6 months to make this. We've not offered our original product in almost a year, but now the great crew at Bigley have gone to the manufacturer that has a special license and patent to make it, and we have a first limited run of T3. I've been trying to get a replacement for X2 for over a year. This is X2, but even better, even stronger, a new formula. True atomic iodine right now at realalexjones.com. Take action. Thanks for keeping us on air.